Hey, so today we're going to be going over Lab 3, Graphical User Interface, or also known as GUI. My team includes Fabian Lopez and Armando Velasco. All right, so now on to the introduction. So as mentioned, we're going to be covering GUI, or Graphical User Interface, in order to control the circuit and see the graphical values that are recorded from the temperature sensor. This is going to be done through the MATLAB code that was written, and also we'll have added some information which can be seen, such as standard deviation and mean. Now on to the materials. In the materials, we're using the same materials as were used in the previous lab that was used to capture the temperature. So we'll be using an LM335 temperature sensor, a 2.2 kilo ohm resistor, a 120 ohm resistor, and a 680 ohm resistor, 1 kilo ohm resistor, and the Arduino, which is used with the MATLAB code that's on the laptop to have the code work all together. Now on to Armando.
For the methods that we did, we basically did a very similar circuit as in lab number 2. We connected the Arduino to our circuit board, to a temperature sensor. We have an LED and a buzzer as well. Just like in lab 2. Now, the difference is that for the code in MATLAB, we created a GUI. The GUI is basically an app that we can control. And with this app, we're going to monitor the temperature live, as well as having quality of life improvements. Like, for example, we added that you can actually have some set of recorded data. You can calculate the mean, standard deviation, and all of that. We'll show that in a little bit. As said here, task 1, we needed to make the GUI, plotting graphs, having a clear reset button, and show the temperature thresholds that you can input what your thresholds are, and you're going to see a changing color of lines on the temperature graph. And the changing color itself was task number 2. So this is what our app looks like. You can see there's a start, stop, and clear button. All of those 3 work for the real-time data. Once you click start, you first set up your max temperature threshold and the minimum temperature threshold. After that, what you do is that you have a total time. The total time after you click stop is going to tell you the total time for the recorded data. Sorry for the interruption. There was an Amber alert and a blocked communication. So as I said, once you click start, you're going to see real-time data of the temperature being recorded. Once we click stop, we're going to have the second graph that says collected data, and it's going to be shown there. Also, we're going to have the mean, standard deviation, and max value calculated from that collected data. And the 3 tabs on the bottom left where it says temperature in Fahrenheit, Kelvins, and Celsius, it's live data. The moment we click clear, it's going to clear all the live data. If we click on clear BME, it's going to clear the collected data. Also, there's a little switch on the left corner up that it's on Fahrenheit or Celsius. Depending on where we put that switch, it's the temperature that our app is going to record. Now I'm going to show how the code of the app looks like. This is basically the code for the GUI. It's quite lengthy, and how the app works is fairly similar and fairly simple. I'll show it right now. So this is the app. We're going to click on Fahrenheit right now, and we're going to click. We have the max temperature threshold at 80. We have the minimum at 65. Anything in between that is going to show black. Above 80 will look red. Below 65 will look green. We click start, and the data starts collecting in real time. As you can see, it is between 65 and 80. There's some temperatures that below 65 that looks green. Now, if I put my fingers on the sensor, the temperature will go up and will look red eventually as it gets to the maximum threshold. Now, it's kind of hard because the room is a little bit cold. We had the room as cold as possible to make sure that we could get to the minimum value. Let's see, my fingers are not that hot today. Okay, I'm going to stop the data and I will showcase the red color in a minute. So this is the collected data. As we can see, here's the mean, standard deviation, and max value. If we click clear, oh, by the way, there's the total time recorded. If we click clear, we clean all the live data, but we still have the collected data. Now, we can change to Celsius and click start again. Now it looks on Celsius degrees instead of Fahrenheit, but that's the live data. We still have the collected data. Now we can clear this data and click stop. then the data gets replaced. Once again, we can click clear and do all of that. Now, to showcase that the temperature, the thresholds work, there's really not a safe way to get that with, above 80. Right now, my fingers were not working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower my threshold to 65, my top threshold. And my minimum, I'm going to put it on 50. Now, every temperature should be above 65, so it will look red. Let's see. There we go. It looks red, and whatever is below 65 will look black. That's exactly what we wanted it to do. Now, to show that the minimum threshold works, I am going to put it on 70. So anything below 70 will look green. And anything, let's say, above 80 will look red. Now, all the graphs will look green. I'm sorry. Let's clear and start again. Everything looks green, as expected. Now, that's on Celsius degrees. Now, what happens if we put it on Fahrenheit? Well, exactly the same. Clear, restart, everything green again. So the app does everything that it was intended to do, plus a little bit of additions and quality of life improvements, like the mean, standard deviation, and max value, as well as having a clear view of the three temperatures, or the temperature and the 3 degrees at the same time. Now I'm going to move on to Fabian. He's going to explain the results.
As previously shown, the app is working as intended. You know, there's some stuff that were added that just make it a little nicer to work with. The live temperature, Fahrenheit, Celsius, Kelvin. The way you're able to keep the collected data and the real term data separated, just in case you want to compare, or you know, just want to have it there for the next set of data or something. You know, you can separately clear them. You can keep them. It's just life improvements, as he previously said. Now, moving on to the conclusion. The purpose of the lab was just to make a GUI that would work with our previous circuit. That was successful, as you could see the app before. We had some issues getting the app to actually show the changes in temperature, like color-wise. We were having a little issue with the code and stuff, but you know, after a couple of tries, we made it work. We know it took a fair amount of time, but it was nothing that we couldn't do. That's it for our lab number 3.
Thank you.
All right. And